Now that brings us to our topic for today, which is emerging trends in MDM. And we'll talk about a number of them right here. One of the important trends we have seen in the last couple of years is the ability to support multiple domains in MDM system. Now, this is not fairly new as such, but this has been there for a while. When I say multi-domain MDM, what I mean is the ability to manage multiple types of master data, such as product, party, account, location, as well as the relationship among these domains. For example, a customer has purchased a product using a particular account they have and will be billed and marketed to a particular location. That kind of shows the relationship between multiple domains, right? So the customer is linked to an account and also linked to a location where he is billed at, right? What this allows is two things. One, an ability to use master data in multiple ways, and two, ability to feed operational and analytical systems to capture useful insights. So in IBM, we call it as multi-form MDM, and it's a strategy to support multiple domains and multiple uses of master data. Based on our market-leading portfolio of MDM products at IBM, we are uniquely positioned to be able to deliver on this multi-form MDM strategy before any other vendors in the market. So that's a huge plus for us. Our next trend is the integration of MDM with business process management. To understand this trend, let's first look at what BPM is and then understand how BPM coupled with MDM can bring more value to your organization. Business process management, or BPM as we call it, has been referred to as the holistic management approach. What it allows is the ability to align organizations' business processes with the wants and needs of the client. So let me give you an example here so it kind of makes it clear. Consider you are a call center representative using your web-based application. You are helping your customer to return 2 items. And these 2 items are purchased by your customer separately with 2 different forms of payments. And they were also bought weeks apart, say, right? And believe me, this kind of things happens pretty often here when you're in holiday season and you're in the U.S. and you're buying stuff for your friends and family, right? What a BPM application would do is walk you through the steps of the exchange. The rules are built into the system, so there's no need to call for a manager's consultation or approval, because every information you need and every system you need to connect to carry out this transaction is right there in front of you, right? Right there in the application, which is there for you. So that's what BPM brings to the table. And when we talk about BPM, we talk about continuous improvement of processes, and we link it to the phrase process optimization. So it basically makes how much of a complex cycles or transactions or different things you need to do in the system, it kind of helps you. There are rules built in there, and even if you need to connect to different systems, it helps you carry out those transactions easily, right? And that's the power of the business process management. Now here is a slide which shows you a side-by-side comparison of what MDM and BPM functionalities are, right, in short. While MDM takes your business-critical silo data spread across your systems in the organization and consolidates them, BPM brings together your silo processes into one single place. And also it provides a consistent visibility into those processes. MDM is about improving quality of your data, while BPM is about having a platform which helps you improve departmental processes. MDM provides better visibility into your master data, while BPM provides a process improvement. Right? That's kind of very nicely put up here in this slide. Now the obvious reasoning is how cool it would be if we can bring these 2 technologies together, right? Let's take an example, which again helps us simplify this notion of the integration, right? Consider you are building an MDM solution that centralizes all of your customer information from different legacy systems of the enterprise in a single master data hub. Right? So that's what you do with MDM. One of the core functions required here is new customer introduction. Assume this function can be invoked as a business service from all your source systems, because they need to send the data which they have currently into your MDM system first of all, right? So you build this single customer hub. Now, we have seen in MDM implementation, it's not enough to just accept new records coming in from the source system. What you really want is an add or update customer function. So a source system can say to the hub, I'm about to create a new customer record for John Jones, who resides in 123 Main Street, New York, and has a phone number, right, which is phone number XYZ, right? Now, instead of blindly creating that new record in the hub, you want to be able to do a search in the MDM hub and find if that record already exists, right? Now, that's where MDM's powerful features come into play. They help you search the customer with the different combination of attributes, its address, the phone numbers, the tax IDs, the name, and it kind of matches and finds out whether that customer already exists in the system, right? It does a very good job at that. MDM is a powerful product in that way when it comes to matching data and finding out if there are duplicate information. If the customer record exists, what you need to do is pass back that customer number, effectively telling that source system not to create a new record after all, but to instead update the existing customer because that customer already exists in the system. BPM makes this whole process very straightforward. Using BPM, you can build this function as a service, so any application interested in sending customer data to the central MDM hub can use it, and that too consistently and across the organization. And that's pretty cool. In this slide, number 19, we have shown some of the challenges customers face when MDM and BPM are not working in synchronization. Some of the major challenges with MDM implementation are listed on the left side. There is this big challenge of getting business owners' trust in master data. And then there is this tendency to look at MDM as an IT issue as against a business problem. Similarly, if you look at the right-hand side of the chart, the business process, which you define in an organization, often suffers from data quality issues. And that's because you don't have a single source of master data established yet, right? Business process, which point to poor data quality, means poor decision making, isn't it? So also, without MDM, processes you define now have to deal with data conflicts which exist across silo systems, which is a big pain in the neck, right, for the organization. So basically, these are the kind of listed out challenges which will exist if you don't have MDM and BPM work together. Although they address certain problems to get individually, on an overall side, each one kind of need the other. With MDM and BPM together, now you can manage the creation, governance, and delivery usage of master data across the organization. Now that MDM provides the single trusted 360-degree view of your master data entities. Your critical business processes can run smoothly, right? And BPM, with its process governance capabilities, allows you to manage changes effectively too. BPM workflows allow easier collaboration of the business users and also provides you greater visibility into business operations. So that's what happens when you get these two things together, right? We will actually see some of the benefits later in the slides, so I will just skip this slide for now. So now this screen is self-explanatory, kind of. As you can see, an accurate and correct master data entities coupled with transactional processes will help you create a better working business process flow. The items you see on the green are your master data entities, and the one in blue are your core processes for an organization. When sandwiched together, they make a perfect recipe for the business process, such as an efficient bank account opening process, which checks to make sure you're dealing with an existing customer, not a new one, right? Similarly, the product cross-sell function, which will make sure you are not sending mortgage offer to a customer who's already owns a home loan with you, with your bank, right? So those are pretty cool things to do, because if you can find out what you're doing with your customer beforehand, and whether he's even if a valid customer or he's an existing customer, those are the great things, and will help you a lot. Let's take an example of banking customer onboarding process. With BPM and MDM working together, you can see the process of adding a customer has multiple steps choreographed here. In this workflow, the important step is to verify if the customer in question already exists in your system. So you will be able to do this effectively only because you have a well-established MDM system which provides accurate information about all the customers organization has in one single place, right? Based on the search you did in MDM, you can either decide to add a new record or update an existing customer in case that customer in question already is there in the bank. Same way, now by the way, I'm taking a bank example just because that's easy for me to explain. It can be an insurance company or a retailer or any other industry customer, okay? Same way, if you see in the flow, the product which the customer already owns can be looked up, thus making the entire process run smooth, and at the same time help bank provide best service to the customer. So you wouldn't want to offer the same product if the customer already owns it. So MDM, once you look at MDM using this whole process flow mechanism, you will be able to figure out what all the different products that particular customer owns with your bank. Let's see the process defined using a combination of MDM and BPM, how they help a bank officer. Let's assume we have a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, walk into the bank. When Mr. Jones provides his name and address, our bank officer is able to quickly look up their information on MDM using the business process defined for his role. Having realized Mr. Jones is an existing customer and the address provided has a typo in it, bank officer now can easily quickly fix that and resolve the issue, because it's all choreographed in there, right? So if there's an address problem, then go to this flow, or if there's a name problem, go in this flow and fix it, right? So all those things are choreographed in his application. The bank officer also, as you see, he's able to verify different names of Mr. Jones and what is provided during the account check process, account status check process as against account opening process. And he can also mark B. Jones as an alternative name for the same customer in the MDM system. Also, the bank officer knows the complete portfolio of Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones now that they are in the bank, and he also realizes, looking at MDM, that they are high net worth customers. So he is now presented with an option to cross-sell with retirement, pension, or insurance products to the couple, and that, my friend, is exactly what we need for banks, and an efficient way to manage data, and also a process which helps them find increase their revenue, right? Our trend number 3 is social MDM. This fairly new trend is about connecting internal customer data stored in MDM system with their external data on the social platforms. Linking MDM Hub with social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, you just name it, right? What all the social network platforms we have. Connecting this two systems creates tremendous opportunity. As we know and have used these social networks, they contain a truckload of valuable data. And this data is about how they feel for the products, and how our customers feel about the products, and what brands are they using today, right? Let's assume we have Mr. Jones again, who tweets a negative review about the bank's flagship product, right? It would be useful for that bank to know who Mr. Jones really is and whether it can remedy the situation before it goes worse, right? And that's where MDM connection with social media comes into play. The convergence of MDM and social networking is kind of inevitable. Now, it's not because we need to jump on the social networking bandwagon to keep MDM interesting and relevant, but because it makes the perfect sense. As an organization, social MDM is about taking advantage of digital footprints of customers and, more importantly, the networks. That's a huge network. Every one of us have 300 friends on Facebook. I mean, whether we know them personally or not, but we have them, right? So there's a huge network out there. What's even better is using social MDM, listening to voices of your true customers on social media becomes extremely easy, right? What this creates is a huge opportunity to delight the customers by actually providing customized experiences, for example. And also the product offerings, you provide them product offerings proactively because you know exactly what they need them. Because they told in their Facebook status, I'm looking for so-and-so product to be gifted to my fiance, for example. So it kind of helps you, social media, to understand your customer because they are open there. They are telling what they want to do, etc. in social media more openly than going to the actual organization and telling them, hey, I want to buy this product from you, right? So there's a huge opportunity there. Let's look into some of the more benefits social MDM brings in. The best part of social MDM is that the value it can bring into organizations and also to the customers is almost limitless. The ability to understand likes and dislikes of the customers in real time is as good as one can ask for. In theory, one can obtain almost any data they need via social media and use it for their advantage. Now, the Gartner is a research analyst, as you know, it says social MDM comes in handy in two ways, according to Gartner, right? So they say the sentiment analysis, which is the ability to find out what people are telling about your products and understand people's sentiments for your product is what they call a sentiment analysis. And also, social MDM helps in network analysis, which is find out who are all my customers in real life are, right? And also find them whom they are linked to, which is whom they know, right? And see if we can make them influencers of our product, right? So that's network analysis. And traditionally, existing network influences is a very powerful thing. As we all know, it's like a word of mouth, right? That's what we know it as, and that's a powerful stuff. When someone who knows the product and goes and tells all his 200 friends that, hey, this is a cool product I got and I really love it, there's a good chance that those other 200 people will at least consider buying it, if not go actually buy it, right? And some of them will, definitely. So the word of mouth is a great thing, and that's what we call a network influence. And that comes very handy when it comes to organizations selling products, if they can leverage that information. The other important benefit of social MDM is the customer service. The new term which has come into play in the last year or so is the system of engagement. What this means is that the organizations now can engage their true customers in a conversation on social media to figure out how well the product or service they are offering is perceived. Above all, knowing the customers well, understanding their issues, arguments and concerns, and doing something proactively before even the customer comes to you to ask for the help will help the company to reduce the churn significantly, right? So just imagine we have a problem with our phone service provider, and before even we go to them and tell them, they understand from what we have been telling in our social media platforms about the service, and they quickly do something about it. And they in turn contact back and tell you, hey, Mr. So-and-so, we understand that you had this problem, so we will try to help you resolve it, or we already resolved this issue for you. That's huge plus, right? And I would be very happy if my phone provider does that. Now, social media MDM comes with certain challenges, of course, and there are a number of them. Dealing with social media profiles, which are often duplicated or wrong and incomplete, is a complex problem, right? Adding to that are the privacy and data protection laws. These laws vary among countries, and if you are an organization doing business globally, you have more things to worry about. And definitely, the biggest challenge is the volume and complexity of social data. With its potential to potentially explosive combination of almost like inaccuracies and stuff like that, it needs the right tools and technologies to get the juice out, right? Often, it's also a new territory for most organizations. I mean, social analytics and social media, looking into social media data and finding out the data they need, information they need out of it is a fairly new thing, and many organizations are not even there yet, right? So it's a huge challenge. That brings us to our next trend, number 4, MDM and its integration with big data. In the last 1 year or so, we are increasingly seeing the market asking about relationship between MDM and the big data. I tend to treat big data as just another source of information which can feed to MDM, and also vice versa, right? MDM can feed back to big data. The big data technology can feed insight into MDM, and the reverse is true also, as I said. That is, MDM in turn can feed quality master data information back to big data systems. The most common use case for big data is the social media analytics. In other words, the social MDM we just talked about, right? That needs a huge favor from big data technology to work efficiently, right? Organizations which employ big data technology would be able to unearth potentially new customers, of course, right? That's the whole point of going and analyzing your data. You need to find out more customers. But here is where the interesting twist happens. When they find new customers, which is the big data finds new customers for you by analyzing social media, the big data integration with MDM will help them figure out whether those new customers are actually new customers or the existing customers off the bank or off the insurance company, right? So MDM providing master definition of customers, household relationships, product and hierarchy management will also prove kind of a critical thing for big data analytics. In a converse way, customers who find, first build their 360-degree view of customer data using MDM can analyze those customer data using big data technologies, right? Use all the customers we have today and find out what they are in real life, right? That's the best example of it. So this helps in enriching the customer information further, right? Either way of either you're going from big data to MDM or MDM to big data, it kind of helps in either side of it to enrich the customer information you have. So clearly there's kind of bi-directional relationship between MDM, as I said. Big data technology can benefit from MDM and as a starting point for analysis, and it can also help augment or feed new insights and facts into the MDM system. The only gotcha, though, is this new source we are talking about, which is a big data source, is dependent on external data platforms. And the main challenge here is it requires newer and complex tools and technologies, right? Which most of us started 10 years ago or whatever, do not really process, right? We need to learn those skills. So that brings us to the trend number 5, which is MDM on cloud. Although the analysts and research firms say cloud computing will play a key role in the future of MDM, at this point, the majority of organizations are highly skeptical about this prospect. The prospect of housing their valuable master data about the customers, their products, suppliers, etc., on a public cloud, for obvious reason, which is security. Since master data is often sensitive information, a public cloud usage this point is strict no-no for most companies, right? And keeping this in mind, what makes more sense for the organization is to go for cloud-based data quality offerings instead. For example, use of data matching tools hosted on the cloud makes a perfect sense, right? And so is the reference data provided on the cloud. So you want to check what are the country lists available as of today, because there's just a country which was recently added to the whole country list, right? So making those kind of information available on the cloud makes it a lot of sense, because then you can hook your systems, MDM systems hosted on premises with these reference data hosted on the cloud to make sure you're up to date, right? So that's a pretty cool thing to do. And all of these, for time being only, right? Till we actually feel comfortable about using public cloud for everything, hosting your MDM application as well as hosting your data there. Because at some point we will probably feel comfortable about security of our cloud software and stuff like that. Because just remember, this is evolving field for not just MDM, with the cloud as a whole. And when you talk about hosting anything on the cloud today, there's a major concern that there's the security issues. What if my data is breached? What if someone breaks into my data and stuff like that? So, so till then, we can use cloud for more of hosted services like matching and reference data and stuff like that, which makes more sense. So it's kind of interesting to note here, which the point mentioned here is the predictions is that there might be around 10% of MDM solutions hosted on the cloud by 2015. That's by Gartner again. So that's pretty interesting. So that brings us kind of an end to the presentation which I wanted to deliver. So I took about, I guess, around 45 to 50 minutes.